Phrase essentials, types, meaning, and real-life examples unveiled. Phrases make up one of the foundations and most crucial elements of a sentence. Every sentence, no matter how big or small, can be dissected into phrases. A phrase is a word or a compartment of words that are expressive of a single idea, notion, or concept. It is like the popular saying on grammatical units that one or more of their units below make up the units above. Phrases are made up of one or more words, since words are a unit below phrases on the grammatical rank scale. It could be a word or a group of words functioning together as a defining whole. They have a head that serves as the obligatory element, and can comprise modifiers and post-modifiers or qualifiers alongside the head word, but they are optional. For instance, boy in the strong boy is the head word as well as the obligatory element because it can stand alone and still convey meaning as a noun phrase. Phrases are therefore classified into the following: noun phrase, verb phrase, adjective phrase, adverb phrase, prepositional phrase, gerundive phrase, past participle phrase, infinitival phrase, noun phrase. A noun phrase is a word or group of words that have a noun as its head word. It is a phrase whose main point of reference is a noun without which it does not qualify to be addressed as a noun phrase. It has a structure, MHQ, where M stands for modifier, H stands for head word, and Q stands for qualifier. Examples of noun phrase: the strong tower, a purple Porsche car, the book on the table, that house, the free food, John's book. Note: you do not put a full stop at the end of a phrase, only sentences and main clauses take a full stop. In the examples above, the head words are as follows: building, tower, car, book, house, and book. Other elements of the structures are either modifiers, coming before the head words, or qualifiers, coming after the head words, which serve the purpose of expounding on the head word, noun. Elements that can appear in the modifier position include articles, determiners, demonstratives, possessives, relatives, adjectives, etc., while in the qualifier position, you can have elements such as prepositional phrases, gerunds, relative clauses, etc. Verb phrase. A verb phrase is a verb or group of verbs functioning together. Verb phrases usually have their head word as lexical verbs. They are made up of one or more verbs that act as a whole with allocated functions depending on the constituents of the phrase. A verb phrase can comprise a modal auxiliary, an auxiliary, a lexical verb, or a verbal particle. Examples of verb phrases include, but are not limited to, will have been working, must have passed through, could be going through, would be coming through, will have, has done, is doing, is. 2, 3, 4. Above are instances of verb phrases made up of modal auxiliary, lexical verbs, and verbal particles. Verbal particles are elements that lack meaning in isolation, and depend on the verbs they occur with for their meanings. Phrasal verbs are examples of verbs with particles, for example, sail through, round up, round off, buckle down, stay with, where the particles are as follows: through, up, off, down, etc. These particles take the structure of a preposition but without objects of the preposition. They function more as verbs than prepositions. Adjective phrase. An adjective phrase is an adjective or group of adjectives with a common goal functioning together. It can be composed of an adjective or several adjectives or even an adjective and an adverb. Adjectives in an adjective phrase are all head words as they do not modify adjectives but nouns. There could be up to 4 adjectives in an adjective phrase modifying a noun, for example, big round strong Australian table. Other examples of adjective phrases include, but are not limited to, big black, long silky, big rough wooden, shiny black canyon. We can also have adverbs as constituents of an adjective phrase, in which case they are modifiers of the adjectives they precede. Adverbs modify adjectives. Examples include very strong, extremely vile, so powerful, often shy, always handsome. Adverbs in an adjective phrase precede adjectives as they are modifiers of the adjectives. Adverb phrase. Adverb phrases are adverbs or groups of adverbs that function as a unified whole in modifying a verb. Like adverbs, adverb phrases serve the purpose of modifying verbs, and can be replaced by single or standalone adverbs. Examples: very often, often, so fast, fast, quite slow, slow. Adverb phrases can also be represented in terms of function by prepositional phrases. Take for example, on the ground, adverb of place. For the club, adverb of purpose. By midnight, adverb of time. They are grammatically prepositions, but function as adverbs giving information about time, reason, place, and manner. It is worthy of note that prepositional phrases can also function as adjectives when they modify nouns, for example, the boy behind you, the cat on the mat, the house on the left, the car beside you. The prepositional phrases above modify the nouns that precede them. A rule of thumb: prepositional phrases function as adverbs when they come directly after verbs, and as adjectives when they come directly after nouns. Prepositional phrase. A prepositional phrase is composed of a preposition and at least a noun, or a preposition, a modifier, an adjective, and a noun. It is one of the few phrases that cannot take more than one of its kind. For example, you cannot have more than one preposition in a prepositional phrase, for example, on, between, house. Oddly, prepositional phrases have a preposition, and a noun which functions as the object of the preposition. Examples of prepositional phrase: on the table, with the dogs, by the road, along pathways. As stated earlier, prepositional phrases can function as adjectives or adverbs depending on their proximity to the nouns or verbs they modify. Example: the boy on my team. The boy is on my team. In the first instance, the prepositional phrase functions as an adjective because it is placed directly beside the noun boy, while in the second instance, it functions as an adverb coming directly after the lexical verb is. Gerundive phrase. Gerundive phrases are phrases that are made up of nominalized verbs and other elements. This type of phrase has a gerund as its head word. Gerunds are verbs ending in apostrophe in that assume new roles as nouns as they act more as concepts than verbs, such that they can function as subjects and objects in a sentence. Examples: singing is my hobby. John teaches singing to children. Dancing is an art. Examples of gerundive phrases: walking to the mosque, waiting for a bus, shouting for hours, sweeping with stakes. Participle phrase. They are phrases comprised of past participles of verbs and other elements. They have the past participle of a verb as their head word. In this instance, the verb functions more as a noun than a verb. Take for instance, broken by the incident, driven by anger, angered by her words, ridiculed by soldiers. Infinitival phrase. This is a phrase made up of a to infinitive and a verb, in its base form as well as other additional elements. The infinitives are formed by the particle to and a verb in its base form, the head words in an infinitival phrase. An infinitive is a combination of the particle to and a verb in its uninflected form. Examples: to die, to err, to strive. Examples of infinitival phrases: to strive for happiness, to prepare for war, to advocate for peace, to take up responsibilities. See you soon.